The University of Denver's English Language Center has implemented a new proficiency requirement for all students living in China. Undergraduates living in China who wish to be admitted must complete the CIEE applicant interview in addition to passing the test required for all other non-native English speakers. According to Marjorie Smith, the Associate Dean of International Student Admissions, the new requirement was created last fall after it became clear that our current methods of assessing English proficiency were not adequate. Nearly 25% of the students who expected and whom we expected to begin their degree programs could not. This was too high a failure rate. When asked if the policy was discriminatory because it currently applies only to Chinese students living in China, Smith said, "We are requiring this interview of students living in China because that is where it is offered, where most of our international students live, and where most of the need resides. If the interview proves to be a good tool and becomes more widely available, we will consider expanding this requirement accordingly." While the International Admissions Office views the policy change as fair and necessary, student reaction on campus has been varied.
I think they have their reasons, but because Chinese students make up 80 or 70% of the international student body, and to apply to Chinese, it takes care of the majority of problems. But talking about discrimination, yes, because of course, people from Saudi, from Brazil, from Europe, no matter, as long as their language is not English, they should have this policy applied to them too.
Although the policy doesn't directly affect Chinese students already enrolled at DU, some Chinese students on campus feel strongly about the changes.
I think it's so unfair, and it's discrimination, as I said. They need to give us a reason for why it's doing it for specific Chinese students. If that really happens, I think there will be a protest or even a boycott from the Chinese students.
The reaction to the new policy amongst local students differs from individual to individual. Some draw connections between DU's new language policy for Chinese international students and the policies of universities that host DU students abroad.
I'm going to Beijing this summer, working with the Institute of Psychology and the Academy of Science in Beijing, and they don't require us to have any language requirement. If in fact this new policy is something that is differentially harder than the other English tests for other populations, then I think that it's incredibly unfair, and it's probably to the detriment of the university.
The results of this pilot program will be examined during the 2013 fall quarter. Adjustments will be made depending on the correlation between the CIEE applicant interview results and the pass rate on the ELPA exam.